The gun carriage is next to put together. Note that the directions are not very good, and you need to check all the pieces for placement before you're ready to cement them in place. The gun trail locks are cemented in place at the ends of the beams or the legs of the gun carriage. I had already cemented the wrenches in place on the beams. The cross beam axle is next, but it is very difficult to determine which way it faces from the instructions. It is a good thing the cement was not cured, as when I was ready to place the travel lock in place, I noted the crossbeam axle should be placed after the travel lock is cemented in place. So I removed the crossbeam axle, cemented the travel lock in place, and then put the crossbeam axle back in. And I noted I had it facing the right way to begin with. The tabs are next and go inside of the gun carriage legs. Finally, the crock plate brackets are cemented to the outside of the legs, and essentially, the gun carriage is complete. The entire wheel carriage is the next major assembly that needs to be built. Cement the springs to the axle assemblies. Be sure to place the springs into the notches on the axles. That will make sure you have the proper width of the assembly and that the wheels still rotate freely. Wait 10 to 15 minutes before proceeding to the next step to allow the CA to start curing. Test the assembly to make sure the wheels still turn. Cement the handbrake diaphragms onto the hand brakes. Be very cautious, as these are very small parts. They only fit one way, so these are fairly easy to place. Do both handbrake assemblies. Not shown is cementing these handbrake assemblies to the axle assembly in the position designated on the instructions. Put everything aside for final curing. Final assembly of the remaining parts for the 8-inch howitzer takes place in this last section of this video. The pivot shafts must move in and out freely so that the gun can elevate easily. Clean off the paint from both shafts and check the fit into the cylinders. Clean off as necessary for movability. Cement the ends of the assemblies onto the gun parts as called out for in the instructions. Now you are ready to put all three major sub-assemblies together. Do not glue them. They are designed to come apart and or rotate as a real howitzer would behave. This video at the end shows the completed 1/48 scale Atlantis Models 8-inch howitzer kit. Other than the instructions being difficult to follow and no parts are labeled, the model is a really nice representation of the actual artillery piece. The barrel can elevate, but you have to be careful as it is a tight fit. The wheels roll easily and sit on the gun carriage nicely, and the breech opens and closes. The final chapter shows hand painting the 4 figures supplied with the kit. These may be added if you wish to do a diorama at a later date. If you have any questions about techniques explored in this video, or general questions about this build, please post your questions in the comments section below.